I'm going to say this in a nice, loving way, but like if you find yourself in that position, you got bad hip, bad knees, your disability's progressing, that stinks. Suck it up, and here you are. You probably can't change it, but you can decide how you're going to go forward. Okay. Welcome back to the channel. It has been some time, like a long time. We're currently driving to Toronto. Well, hold on. I'm going to stop there for a second. So it's been a long time, and I've alluded to things in other videos, and my fans tell me that I have not come back around to discuss the things that I have said that I'm going to talk about in a future video. And I was at a recent family event, my parents' 50th anniversary party with my family, extended family, and I was told that, well, number one, I'm happy to have fans, even if they are cousins, but number two, I was told that there are topics that I have not come back around to. So, for all my 236 subscribers out there, I'm going to start talking about these things. But if you are brand new to this channel, I don't know why you would be, but please stick around. We have some interesting things to talk about. So let's talk about, let's see, where to start. If you're new here, I'm Jonathan. My wife, Joy, is behind the camera. I started this channel because I didn't start the channel because I have Spina Bifida. I started the channel to be about Spina Bifida and living as an adult with Spina Bifida. There's not a ton of us around, or maybe there is and I just don't know where they all are. But like Spina Bifida is a pretty common, they call it a birth defect. And I've always, there's so much information out there about kids and Spina Bifida, not a lot of stuff out about adults, so that's why I started the channel. And my wife and I are sorta semi in the process of adopting a child. Still. Yeah, if you've been around for a while. So this started, we are in, where are we now? This is October 20-something. We're currently driving to Toronto to visit this child that we have been hoping to adopt for over a year now. There's just been some complications with various things. And again, I've talked about this in the past, and I guess I never came back around to it, that the adoption and the family court system in Ontario is very broken. So this is why we're still driving back and forth to Toronto every week or two or three to visit this little one. And, we go out for lunch, go to a park, hang out, get to know her. And, I don't know how much longer we would have to do this for, but it doesn't seem to be. There's never an answer. There's always a pending answer coming, and then it never turns out to be what we think it's going to be, and then it turns into, well, there's another court date to discuss the last court date, and this just goes on like forever. So that's where we are with the adoption thing. It is still on the table. We just don't know how much longer that will be. It could, honestly, we could get some answers like, say, this week. So that's the adoption situation. We will keep you posted on that if we find anything out. Some other interesting news, we were we survived a hurricane. We weren't involved in a hurricane. We survived a hurricane.
It was hardly survival.
Yeah, so we went to Florida. I have a business partner in Florida from one of my side gigs. I have a lot of different things that I do to make a few dollars, and one of them is with a business partner who lives in Florida. So he's been inviting us down for quite some time, and so we finally went at the tail end of September, and wouldn't you know it, while we were there, there was a hurricane. And so they canceled our flight home, and they closed the airports, so we just had to stay for the hurricane. Thankfully, we were not near the coast, and it was a very interesting thing. Like, it was like being in a thunderstorm that just went on for like 12 hours. So imagine a really terrible thunderstorm like we get in Ontario. They tend to be short, maybe they're an hour, but this was like a terrible thunderstorm that lasted all night. So didn't get a ton of sleep that night, but really thankful to be where we were, because my business partner's house, they kind of live out in the middle of nowhere. Like it's like the jungle, and they have a generator that's directly hooked up to their house and will power the house for weeks if they need it to. So the power went out for like 30 seconds, generator came back on, and then we were living like nothing had happened, even though we couldn't really get out because the road was flooded. But we still enjoyed our time there. It was nice and warm, and I'd like to go back sometime soon. In my last video, if you watched the tail end of the video, I did allude to trying out this really cool device that clamped onto the front of my wheelchair and made it into like an electric 3-wheel contraption. So after the last video, I was thinking about buying one of these things, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pay between $7,000 and $13,000 for this thing. And in my research, I found cheaper options. So I purchased one of the cheaper options and had a bit of trial and error getting it to work with my wheelchair, but it is working now, and I'll put some footage in. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook on the Chase the Journey accounts, you will have seen me posting some things, but here's some footage of that. Basically, it connects to the front of the wheelchair and lifts the 2 front casters off of the ground and puts the weight onto an electric wheel. It's a scooter without the board, more or less. And so when I was purchasing the item, I happened to notice that they were looking for dealers in Canada. And my entrepreneurial mindset sort of kicked in, and I thought, I think I'm going to become a dealer.
What's the name of your business?
So the name of the business is Active Mobility Solutions. Let me talk about my little pet peeve on mobility products. So when you're looking for mobility products, you normally end up at what they call like a home health store. And it is a place where you can buy all kinds of medical stuff. I don't really see mobility aids as being medical. I see them as being more of a sports kind of thing. Like if you need something to help you stay active in the community, I just don't see that as a medical device. So I call it Active Mobility Solutions, and we're not going to go down the road of the medical-y stuff. So people that have a disability or people that are aging, like aging happens to everybody, it's not a death sentence. Like, things are going to change. Of course, things will change with your mobility as you age. It's pretty much inevitable. So I look at it from the standpoint of when you go through those life cycles and you find yourself in the position of maybe needing a wheelchair, that doesn't mean your life is over. That just means you have to do things differently. I'm going to say this in a nice, loving way, but like, if you find yourself in that position, you've got bad hip, bad knees, your disability's progressing, that stinks. Suck it up, and here you are. You probably can't change it, but you can decide how you're going to go forward. And if that means that you need to buy a wheelchair, you need to buy a device that clamps onto your wheelchair to help you a little bit more, just get the things that you need to succeed, whatever that happens to be. Like, it's really not complicated. Like, I get that life is challenging sometimes, but
would you rather still be active or sitting at home?
Yeah, and that's a sad thing for me, is when I see so many people that, their life circumstances change and they just end up sitting at home. And, 4 or 5 years ago, I was in that position. I didn't have my wheelchair yet, and I remember 2018 maybe, you know, like Joy and I like to travel, and there were just so many places that we would go, and Joy would get out and explore the area, and I would sit in the car. So we saw so many things from the window, and I wish I would have got my wheelchair sooner. And so this is kind of my appeal to you. If you are aging or you have a disability and it's preventing you from getting out and about and doing the things that you like to do and being with the people you like to be with, just get the thing that you need, whether it's a wheelchair or a walker, crutches, cane. I don't, like, we're past those days. It's not the 1950s anymore. People aren't looking at you because you're using a walker or a cane like you're some sort of invalid. Like, that's all gone. So just get the thing that you need and move on. And so that's why I started this little side company, because I'm kind of passionate about that. Like, don't let a disability or regular aging stop you from continuing along and enjoying life. I've been down a kind of a rabbit trail of finding all kinds of different things that are available for people with mobility issues, and like, I kind of live in this world, and I'm surprised at the things that are available. And honestly, there's so much available to help keep you active and enjoying life. So if there's something you're looking for, message me, activemobilitysolutions.com. Go to the website, fill out the form. There's a live chat on there. Lots of stuff. There's a lot of things out there that you may not even know exist that can help you continue living. So that's my plug for that. I'll end the video here with some more footage of me just ripping around the neighborhood in my with my Easy Ride attached. It goes fast. It'll go up to 15 miles per hour. I don't know, that's about 20, I think that's around 22 or 23 kilometers an hour. So it's pretty, goes at a pretty good clip, but it's fun. Anything you want to say, Joy?
Nope.
Did I miss anything?
No.
Hurricane, fans, mobility stuff, adoption, we've covered it all. Heck of an update. So anyway, if you are not subscribed, you probably should be. And we will be back with some adoption updates and maybe some cool mobility product demos. We'll let you go there, and Joy needs a break from the filming. So say bye, Joy.
Bye.
See you later, folks.